مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alright, we are from group 2 and today we will share about one of the dakwah figures in Malaysia which is known as Dato Dr. Haron. First thing first, I will introduce about what the meaning of dakwah. The word dakwah comes from Arabic and adapted into the Indonesian language as dakwah, that means a call, request, prayer and love to God Almighty. The basic word dakwah with various derivatives mentioned in the Quran as much as 212 times. While in other view, dakwah is an Arabic word which has the literal meaning of issuing a summons or making an invitation. Dakwah activities have started since the time of the previous prophets, either secretly or openly, and groups or individuals. The previous prophet before the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and also the Prophet Muhammad faced many of challenges when they spread the truth in order to obey Allah's command and abandon His prohibitions. In Islam, it is believed that the fate of each person is in Allah's hand, so it is not the responsibility or right of individuals Muslims to attempt or convert others to the faith. In Malaysia, there have many of da'i where they also carry out work to expand the message of Islam to the community, and one of them is Dato Dr. Haron.
Alright, now I will introduce to you the missionary figure chosen by my group. He is Haron, or given the title of Tuan Guru Dato Dr. Haron. He was born on Sunday 18 August 1940, equivalent to 14 Rajab at 1359 in Bohor Malikangar in the state of Perak. He is the third child of 10 siblings. He earned his bachelorhood at the age of 25 years old with a woman named Datin Hadijah binti Haji Salih. Haron is the heir of Islamic medicine from his father Dain, or known as Lebaidin. His father a nurse who practiced Islamic medicine. Haron inherited the knowledge of Islamic medicine with the medical and his father's notebook. In 1988, he founded the Islamic Medical Charity Association known as Darushifa. Haron has a history of master's degrees education at his academic level. He has studied 2 studies abroad at once. The first master at Al-Azhar University, Cairo, and the second in education at Ain Shams University, Cairo. In 1968, he graduated abroad and began his service as a religious teacher at the Abdullah Munshi School, Penang. From that moment, he began to actively convey messages and preaching to the public to meet the demands of society. He was always busy with the da'wah activity through the religious studies and tazkirah classes at the mosque, as well as invitation to private homes. On 19 September 2016, Haron passed away at the age of 76 years old at Stanford University San Francisco Hospital due to the heart complication, and he was buried at the 5 Pillar Farms Islamic Cemetery, Livermore, California.
Now, let's move to the Haron's achievement in writing. Haron is a person who is highly respected by the community because of her religious knowledge. As an academic, Haron has produced various scholarly works. He has produced many books related to Islamic studies, Islamic medicine, and current fiqh issues. Here, we will brief a few books only. Firstly, the Book of Manusia dan Islam is the most influential book. It was first published Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka in 1990 as well as 1991 to 1993 for the next edition. The full edition was published by Hizbi Marketing in 1999 and PTS Millennia Sendirian Berhad in 2015. This book is a collection of Haron's scholarly writings with UKM lecturer. A special discussion of the content of the Quran is touched upon in the chapters which are Quran, it is the truth that mankind seeks, the Quran's view of the Torah and the Injil, the nature of the spirit in the Quran and others. In each chapter, many Quranic propositions are laid out and so on significantly compared to the hadith propositions. There are 5 messages that Haron then conveys in his book Manusia dan Islam to us, which is attitude towards life, then Islamic and poverty, woman and work, morals and the philosophy of morals, and lastly, Islam is a system for all humans.
In addition to books on Islamic medicine, Dato Haron also wrote prayer books that can provide benefits for mankind, such as Doa dan Rawatan Penyakit. There are 2 books under the same title. The first book was printed in 1996 and the second book followed in 1997 through Percetakan Watan in Kuala Lumpur. Amran Kasimin is also one of the writers who gave his devotion and ideas besides Dato Dr. Haron. Next, there is a work on politics found. The book is entitled Jihad sebagai Survival Insan. This book published in 2007. This book explains about political justice, law, economics according to Islam, and also discuss about education and social. There are 11 chapters. In general and comprehensively, these books are much offensive about the way political system works, but only discuss around the political rights in Islam.
Next, the obstacles and challenges that Haron faced in education field. Firstly, the challenge that he faced while in school. Haron is a clever student. After he graduated from primary school, he continued studies at Madrasah Al-Alawiyah Ad-Diniyah, which is a secondary school. Many successes he captured during in school, but in this school he could not finish his studies and expelled from school. This is because he was involved in a student movement to protest them who intended to replace the new administrator who was not from a religious graduate. And from the incident, he was detained by police for 2 nights and also his friends. In high school, which is in Malaya Islamic College, the biggest challenge is the system of study was delivered in Arabic. Entering this college is impossible for him because he not finished his study in secondary school. But he don't give up and give a letter to Malaya Islamic College, which is recommended by the villagers in Arabic. And finally, he was accepted by this college. Challenge that he faced while in university and establishment of Darul Shifa. In university at Al-Azhar University, he registered for 2 degrees at once. Firstly, master at Al-Azhar University and secondly, diploma at AISYAH University. So, he needs to double his effort to study and a lot of time he spent at library to do a research and reference. Tuan Guru Haron also learned Islamic medicine or treatment from his father, and from that he went to establish the Darul Shifa. And it is a challenge for him because his and team lack of money to build it.
Next, obstacles and challenges that he faced in the political field. Firstly, being humiliated and insulted by liberals. Through the field of politics, he of course chose the Islamic political stream. He is a Sharia scholar who deeply understands Islam is the solution to all the problems of mankind. If the world alone is his prey, joining the past leadership is the most detrimental step. In fact, if he seeks the hereafter alone, work for him as a regular member of past is part of the Islamic struggle. However, past needs his expertise and he is once again not shy to struggle with past in various leadership positions. However, Dr. Haron is one of the Islamic political figures who is hated by a group of pragmatic liberal politicians because of his firmness in defending the principle of Islamic struggle. He was ridiculed and humiliated, yet this did not hurt his spirit to uphold this Islamic struggle. Next, he had experienced critical illness during the struggle in the Dawah journey. Nevertheless, he underwent heart bypass surgery at Stanford University Hospital in the US on April 2nd, 2012. However, this did not stop him from conveying the message of Islam and his contribution in helping the construction of tarbiyah complexes, religious schools, mosques, and various Islamic institutions in the country.
Realizing the above facts, his morbid interest in Islamic education cannot be underestimated. His soul is fresh when imparting knowledge because that is his love and image in life. If he is not present at a planned ceremony of knowledge, it means he is seriously ill or under the observation of a doctor.
Now we go to contribution and achievement of Dr. Haron. First, his journey in Da'wah movement and in political faith. This shows that his high knowledge in the field of the region have to solve many problems of the Ummah until he was recognized and appointed to shoulder the responsibility as a community member of the Association of Malaysia Ulama in 1976 and 1977. Besides that, he is also very active in region study activity. As example, include giving, carrying on Haji course. Not only that, he has served in political field, joined the Islamic party called PAS, Parti Islam Malaysia, as politic member of the Central PAS Working Community at 1975 until 1983. Second, his contribution in educational institution. Left as a Murabbi, after graduation abroad, he returned to his homeland and served as a relation teacher at Abdullah Moshi School, Penang. He was assigned as a discipline teacher in 1968. He was offered to be a lecturer at the Faculty of Islam, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM, at 1975 until 1976. A year later, he was appointed Deputy Dean at 1977 until 1985, and the last one in 1986, he was awarded Associate Professor until his retirement.
Okay, next we go to the third of contribution and achievements of Dr. Haron, that is role model in community. First, he has admirable morals, speaks softly, not prejudiced, and does not like to talk about useless things. Second, Dr. Haron is interest in Islamic education cannot be underestimated because the efforts of Jihad Ta'lim have taken root in his soul. For example, he became many advisors to educational and da'wah institutions, including the Regional Da'wah Center, which produced many da'i and spread da'wah in rural areas. Third, his soul is fresh when imparting knowledge because that is his love and images in life. For example, Dr. Haron giving knowledge is like therapy and does not give many reasons when invited to donate knowledge to the community if he ill. Fourth, his generosity is well known in Muslim community, helping the construction of tarbiyah complex, mosques and others. Generally, there is also Dr. Haron said about the great mu'min. The great mu'min is the one who, hunting for the preparation of the hereafter, gives sedekah to the rich, not waiting until rich if want to sedekah, preaching until he became a pious person, not waiting until pious person want to preach, go to the mosque until old instead of waiting till old to go to the mosque, do good deeds until he is sincere, not wait for sincerity to do good deeds. Truly, these 5 messages from Almarhum Dr. Haron are very giving to the person that is AZMAN with a humble heart who wants to migrate from bad to good person.
Lastly, Dato Haron also contributed in revelation-based medicine. Among it, first, he successfully established the Darushifa Medical Center in 1988, which provide free Islamic medical service to the public. Second, he is also the founder and advisor of Darushifa. Among the main purpose of his founding Darushifa was to curb the khurafat of shamans and provide new alternative in the field of medicine. Third, he also held Islamic medicine class at Darushifa and has graduated over 6,000 students. In disseminating medical knowledge, he strongly emphasized Islamic medicine, which does not conflict with Islamic law. Fourth, even though he is a manager, but he also has a role in treating patients. This is because the knowledge he learned is very secure because it is through the process of talaqi from his own teacher. And last, he is also diligent in spreading the knowledge of Islamic medicine. Among other things, his effort was successful in launching the Ruqyah Islamic mobile application, which facilitates the learning process about medicine of Ruqyah for the general public.
The conclusion as a whole is that the knowledge of the hereafter must be aligned with the knowledge related to the world. This is because the knowledge of the world is very important in spreading Islam and protecting Islam from the tug of Orientalists who constantly denigrate and despise Islam. The zeal and struggle shown by Ustaz Haron in spreading Islam should be emulated by teenagers today, so as not to be easily influenced by Orientalists that corrupt the children of the nation. His sacrifice and contribution to the country in terms of writing, teaching, politics, so that the benefit related to religious affairs should be praised and remembered from century to century, so that his nature and seriousness in spreading Islam remains applied to the end. Before we end our presentation, here we provide a quote from late Dr. Haron. Ilmu yang sedikit sentiasa diamalkan lebih baik dari ilmu banyak tetapi tidak pernah diamalkan. That's all from us. Thank you.